Hi guys, I'm making this video to give you a small advice. Um, if you can, don't ever start a company. It's very hard. You'll be far better off doing a job or something like that than to start a company or to start a startup, whatever. Um, Now when I look back, I think about the days when I had the opportunities to to join very good funded startups as a full-time employee, but I rejected those and denied and started my own venture. I'll share a story with you of what happened today. So I'm actually a founder of a health tech company, and we make and I've designed a software for doctors basically. And I met the most respected, one of the most respected doctors of our city. I come from a tier three city, so there are very few people who work in the segment in which I'm developing my software for. So I met that doctor, and you know, I learned two things. Now that the conversation that we had was about 10 days ago, I can tell you two things that I've learned before telling you the actual story. The first is sometimes you shouldn't make promises. Not sometimes, you shouldn't make promises when you're too happy, when you're too pumped up. And sometimes the situations are wrong and not the people, not the actual people. So I'll tell you what happened. So I went and had a conversation with him, and he was he liked our product so much that he wanted to lead our angel round. He wanted to invest. He wanted to join as a co-founder, and I was very happy. Like when I was having that conversation with him, when I look back, when I retrospect, I feel that was one of the most fluid conversation that I've ever had with anyone. It's a very good time. We had a conversation for about 1.5 hours, and it was a absolute ecstasy. And as I said, he was very pumped up and he made too many promises. And I was fooled that I actually relied on those words too much, words of his. And he's a pretty busy man, you see. As I said, there are very few people, I will say, that work in that segment, in the segment in which I'm making my product for. He is like one of the two doctors that we have in our city who work in that specialty. So I was very happy when I saw that he liked what I was building, and he wanted to join in as a co-founder. But as I said, he's a very busy man. So post that day, he said on that day, basically, so it was, I guess, on Thursday that we met, and he said on the coming Sunday we'll meet again. We'll know each other. Then we'll discuss about the terms of investment. XYZ. On the coming Sunday, we met on Thursday, and we were planning to meet again on Sunday. The second Sunday is coming. So I'm recording this video on 12:50. So today's Sunday, the second Sunday, past the one Sunday has been passed. So we postponed the meeting, and I'm not going to meet him today as well. And it's very unlikely that we will meet. I don't know if we'll meet again or not, because he has many commitments which are at a higher priority compared to me or compared to my business, compared to my product. And that's understandable. The doctor's first priority is his patients. And I knew that he was a busy man, but he when he was pumped up, he gave promises which made me believe that he will give his time, he will commit himself to this idea as much as I am committed to this idea, he will commit to the product as much as I am. But I guess it was full of me. It was like I was fooled that I thought that way. Um, um, and I'm not saying that he's bad. He's a bad person. He's a very good man. I know this, but I know he's very busy, and I don't think he'll be able to continue. And now that I've understood that from the past, like today, something happened that made me realize that he was too happy that day, and he made those commitments in flow. Even I think post that day, he would have himself realized that I shouldn't have made those commitments to him, to that kid, to me. But obviously, he won't convey it like in a straightforward manner. So he delayed our meeting, and he continuously delayed our meeting, and it's been 10, 12 days since that day. Now I've understood that he won't be able to commit, and we won't be able to move forward with whatever we had conversations about, whatever we thought about. From the past 10 days, I haven't had any investors which I had planned because he asked me not to. Um, and the hospital, so he was working in a hospital basically, and the hospital to which in which he was working, it's the only good private hospital in the city that I live in. So basically, I'm from Dhanbad, so it's the only good private hospital in Dhanbad. So if he backs down, then the only customer, because we are making for like like doctors who work in hospitals. Hospitals are very important in our product. So if he backs down, and because he's the HOD of that department, the hospital won't take my product. Even if I've had conversation with the CEO, he also liked our product, but he at the end said that it is a doctor who will use this product, right? So he must like that product. And I was very confident at that time that yes, the doctor said that, yeah, he'll use our product. Yeah, everything will go well. I was very happy that day. But now that I know that it's very unlikely that a doctor will use our product, the only hospital, the only consumer I had to test my product is now gone. So the potential client that I thought I had is gone. The potential co-founder that I thought I had is gone. The potential investor that I thought I had is gone. And because it's the only hospital in my city that actually does good work in that specialty, in that department for which I'm making the software, and because he's the only doctor who works in that department who is good in what he does, because both of them are gone, I don't know if I can continue, if I will be able to continue my product testing in my city. So a single day like this can ruin your plans of 2 months that you made. Now I'm thinking of pivoting to another city, maybe Ranchi or Patna, I guess. But in a single day, the testing plan has gone, the potential customer is gone, the potential co-founder is gone, the potential investor is gone. And I also learned a business lesson today. Don't be over reliant on a single thing ever. Always have a leverage of people if you can. Leverage if you want, if you're investing, if you're raising money, then try to have more than one investors who are interested in investing into your idea. And if potentially more than if you're testing your product, um, then have more than one client. In my case, if I had many hospitals in Dhanbad, then I would have approached them. But I know if that private hospital is gone, I can't take the name obviously. Then I can't test my product here in Dhanbad. If that doctor is gone, because there is nobody. If that he's the only doctor who works in that department in Dhanbad. There are only two doctors. One is a boomer, so no chance over there. So if he will not use, then there is no customer for me in the whole city. If that hospital won't use, then there is no customer for me in the city. And that doctor in that hospital is actually associated, is the HOD of that department. If both of them are gone, basically, if the doctor is gone, then everything is finished in the city. There's no way I can move forward because there is no option that I have. I don't have any options. So always have options. Options will give you leverage if if you're raising money, if you are talking to potential customers, clients. Always look for options, because over reliance on a single institution, over reliance on a single investor will always ruin your mental health and your company. They will always be on an exploitative position. They will always be on a dominant position over you and your company. And if you want to run your company your way, you must find a leverage over them. And leverage comes from options. That's what I've learned today. Leverage comes from options. So try to have as many options as you can. Otherwise, people will find ways to be dominant over you. Or if you don't have options, if you're over relying on a single institution, then remember, if that institution vanishes tomorrow, you will vanish with it as well. So try to have more options in whatever you can. Don't over rely on anything. Build your leverage by having more options. Thank you. Have a good day.